Yes, good morning, students.
Good
So,
morning.
are you able to see the PPT? Okay. Two-port network. The- Already we have discussed about this earlier also, but I will again discuss on two-port network for some clarity. Now, in two-port network, there are actually why. Okay, first we'll see about the two-port network. In two-port network, what we will do, whatever is our circuit diagram, we can we can consolidate that circuit diagram and we will take out four terminals from that, right? Like this. So now there are four terminals. This is terminal 1, this is 1 dash, this is 2, and this is 2 dash, right? So in a two-port network, there are two ports, and there are four terminals. So now here these terminals, right, 1 and 1 means terminal number 1 and 1 dash. These two terminals will form port 1, and terminal 2 and 2 dash will form port 2, right? So now if we say, so now what will happen, whatever is our circuit diagram, we can replace that circuit diagram with this box, and we can call this box as two port network, two port network. But now the question is, suppose for any circuit, if you take four terminals, then can it be a two port network? No. For a two port network, one port condition has to be satisfied, then only it is called as two port network, right? So for a network to become a two port network, it must satisfy port condition. It must satisfy port condition. If this network satisfies the port condition, then only it is called as two port network. Otherwise not. It is not like that ki simply if you are having one complex circuit, you take out four terminals and you say ki these are my two terminals of port 1 and these are the two terminals of port 2. No, it must satisfy the port condition. Now, what is the port condition? First, suppose from terminal 1, some current is entering in the network, and let us say this current is I. Okay. Then from the other terminal of the same port, that is 1 dash, same current should come out from the other terminal, right? So now the current which is entering in the two port network from one terminal of one port will be same in magnitude of the current which is coming out from the other terminal of the same port. So if this condition satisfies, so this condition is called as port condition, right? So if this condition satisfies, then terminal 1 and terminal 1 dash is called as one port, right? So here current entering from one terminal of a port is of same magnitude, is of same magnitude. Is of same magnitude of current coming out from other terminal of same port, right? Same port. So this is your port condition, and if this satisfies, then only you can say it is a port, right? So now same way in port 2. So if terminal 2 and 2 dash are to be declared as a port, then the current entering from terminal 2, let us assume it is I. It is same as the current coming out from terminal 2 dash, right? If this satisfies, then only we can say terminal 2 and 2 dash is a port, right? So it is not like that simply from any circuit you take 4 terminal and you say this is a 2-port network or 4-terminal network, right? So this is not the case. Now sometimes this condition satisfies and sometimes this condition does not satisfy for a particular circuit. It is not like that this port condition always satisfies. So I will show you one or two examples for this. I will show one example. Suppose there is one network, one circuit is there. Right? Suppose this is one circuit having the resistances like R1, R2, R3 and R4, right? And from here we have taken one port, one terminal is taken from there and another terminal is taken from this junction. Okay, and we call it as terminal number 1 and terminal number 1 dash. And suppose from this side we have taken two more terminals, 2 and 2 dash, right? So now here this. Now suppose this is a circuit diagram and I am saying that this circuit diagram is a two-port network, right? This I am saying this is a two-port network, so it will be a two-port network only if the port condition satisfies. So let us see here. Here I have connected one current source. Here I have connected one current source with 1 and 1 dash terminal, and this is of 1 ampere. See why these terminals, why these ports are there. Ports are there only for the connection of the external circuitry, right? In earlier cases we have seen that with the ports terminals we have connected some source, and to the other side we have connected one load resistor, right? So ports are given only for the connection of external connection of the circuitry. So here I have connected one 1 ampere current source, and this side at 2 and 2 dash terminal of another port I am connecting here one another current source of 2 ampere. Okay, right? So now what is the port condition? Port condition is, we talk about terminal 1 and 1 dash. We talk about terminal 1 and 1 dash. So the current entering through terminal 1 and the current coming out from this terminal 1 dash should be same, right? So you can say this, you can see this here, there is 1 ampere current source, right? So 1 ampere current source, from here 1 ampere current will enter, right? And from 1 dash terminal again you can find 1 ampere current is coming out, right? And if you see the 2 and 2 dash terminals, then you will find that from this end 2 and terminal 2 are 2 ampere current is entering, right? And from terminal 2 dash a 2 ampere current is coming out. 2 ampere current is coming out. So here port condition satisfies. So here port condition satisfies, right? Therefore it is a two-port network, right? Because see, this 1 ampere current source, if you are having this 1 ampere current source like this is 1 ampere, right? From here this current is going, okay? So some circuitry is there, right? Some circuitry is there. So if this current is 1 ampere and this is coming out here, so if you see the Kirchhoff's current law, how much current is going here and how much current is coming here, it will be 1 ampere. That's why this is 1 ampere current is entering and 1 ampere current is coming out. Same way for the 2 and 2 dash terminal, 2 ampere current is entering from 2 and 2 ampere current is entering from 2 dash. Now what I will do, I will slightly modify this circuitry. Okay. I have slightly modified the same circuitry, right? Suppose this is resistance R1, this is R2, this is R3, and this is R4. Okay, and here there is terminal 1 and this is terminal 1 dash, right? So what I have done, these are the terminals, right? 1 and 1 dash, and there are 2 more terminals. Suppose this is terminal 2 and from here I have taken terminal 2 dash, right? So now from terminal 1, so this is 1 dash and here it is 1, right? So from 1 and 1 dash, what I have done, I have connected one current source, same current source, 1 ampere. And from 2 and 2 dash terminal, I have connected another current source, right? I have connected another current source, and let us assume this is 2 ampere. Right? So circuitry is same as earlier example, but it looks like Wheatstone bridge, right? So now here you see we are talking about terminal 1 and 1 dash. 1 ampere current, it is entering in the terminal 1, from the terminal 1. The current is 1 ampere. Now, can any student respond? How much current is coming out from 1 dash? Yes, how much current is coming out from 1 dash? Can anyone respond? If 1 ampere current is entering from terminal 1, then how much current will come out from terminal 1 dash?
1 ampere, sir.
1 ampere. 1 ampere.
1 ampere. Correct.
1 ampere. Yes, sir.
It is 1 ampere current will come out, right? Find 1 ampere current is entering from terminal 1. So from terminal 1 dash, you will find current coming out is 1 ampere. Now terminal 2 dash. Now in terminal 2 dash, how much current is entering from terminal 2 dash? It is 2 ampere. And how much current is coming out from 2? It is
12 ampere.
2 ampere. So again you can see here your port condition satisfies here, right? So if that is the case, then our this box, then what we can do, this will be our 2-port network, right? This will be our 2-port network. This circuit diagram can be the 2-port network, and the 2 ports will be 1 dash and 2 dash, right? So here also port condition satisfies. Right? Therefore, it is a 2-port network. But it is not like that every time this port condition will satisfy. Okay, now I will show you another example. Now, first I will draw the same circuit what I have used earlier. Okay, so this is my R1, R2, R3 and R4. From here I have taken a port, that is terminal 1, and here it is terminal 1 dash, and this side I have taken a terminal 2, and this is 2 dash, right? And with the terminal 1 and 1 dash I have connected one current source of 1 ampere, and to the terminals 2 and 2 dash I have connected another current source of 2 ampere, right? Now here what I have done, from terminal 1 dash, this is 1 dash here, from terminal 1 dash and terminal 2 dash, here I have connected another current source. I have connected another current source of 1 ampere. Right? So now in this circuit diagram, there are two ports. Port 1, which consists of two terminal 1 and 1 dash. Port 2, which consists of two terminals 2 and 2 dash. Now whether this is a two port network or not, now you try to find out this, whether this is a two port network or not. The concept is same. How much current is entering from terminal 1? Whether same current is coming out from that terminal 1 dash, that we have to see, right? So here if you see, the current which is entering inside this two port network from terminal 1, it is entering from here, right? Is how much current is this? It is 1
ampere.
Okay, 1 ampere. Now you see the terminal 1 dash. You see the terminal 1 dash. Here the current which is coming out is 1 ampere.
2 ampere, sir.
Here it is 1 ampere, and this side it is 1 ampere.
1 ampere.
So this means from the two port network, how much current is coming out here?
2
From
ampere.
here, it is coming out 2 ampere, right? The current which is coming out from the network is 2 ampere. So here the port condition does not satisfy. Same thing you check at the terminal 2 and 2 dash. At the terminal 2, the current which is entering inside the network is 2 ampere, right? Now you come to 2 dash, this 2 dash. This side, the current which is going is 2 ampere, and here the current which is coming here is 1 ampere, right? So now you find out, you tell me how much current is coming out from this network, how much current coming out from this network at this place.
One ampere, sir.
It is 1 ampere, right? So it is 1 ampere. So current entering is 2 ampere and current coming out is 1 ampere, right? So this circuit, if you what you do, if you replace this circuit diagram by some box, this box, and you say this is my port 1 and this is my port 1 dash, this is my port 2 and this is my port 2 dash. So this current which is entering and which is coming out is different. Here it is 1 ampere and it is coming out as 2 ampere. Same thing is happening this side also, right? So this is not a two port network because port condition does not satisfy here. So here you can say port condition. Port condition does not satisfy, right? Therefore it is not a two-port network, right? So it is not a two-port network, right? Okay. Now, for a two-port network, right? For a two-port network, there are four terminals, right? There are four terminals. Okay, there are four terminals. So for a two-port network with these four terminals, we can define four C2 parameters. Right, we can define 4C2 parameters, means factorial of 4 divided by factorial of 2 multiplied by factorial of 4 minus 2 factorial. So what will be the answer for this? Somebody can calculate and tell me. Somebody can calculate and tell me.
6, sir.
Sir.
So it is coming 6, right? So for a two-port network which is having 4 terminals, we can define 6 parameters. Okay. Now these 6 parameters so these are the 6 parameters, and these parameters are Z parameters, Y parameter, H parameter. then G parameter, then ABCD parameter, and small ABCD parameter. Okay, so these are the 6 parameters which can be defined for a 2-port network, right? And in this, when the semiconductor device was not invented, right? See, who can tell me the answer that when the first semiconductor device was invented? First semi means you are studying NPN transistor, PNP transistor, these type of devices which are made up of semiconductor material, right? So when this first device was invented, any idea? Any student can give any answer, rough answer, roughly?
1974.
74? No. First transistor? No. First semiconductor device? No. This is not right. Any other student want to try? See, you are studying about these
20.
devices. Huh?
1920.
1920? No, that is also not correct. Any other student wants to try? It is 1950.
50, sir.
Okay, who is this? Who is this student? What is your name?
Kirti, sir.
Kirti. Okay, you are Kirti. And who said 1920? What is the name of that student?
Anjana sir.
Anjana.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that student who said 1974, what is the name of that student?
Sir, I said 1874, sir.
Oh, you said 1874. 1874. What is your
Yes,
name?
sir. Chetan, sir.
Ketan or Chetan?
Chetan, sir. CH.
Chetan. Okay. So the answer is very much near to 1950, right? It is very much near to 1950, very much.
1947, sir.
Yes. I think you check the internet, eh? It is in 1947. Okay, where then? The next question is where this transistor was invented? At which place? At which place the transistor was invented? Name of the place. Yes, who can try now? You don't see the internet. Those who know that they can say the answer. It is in USA. Bell's Lab. That is the name of that company. Bell's Lab, right? 3 persons were involved for the invention of this semiconductor transistor. And what are the name of those persons? This you find out on internet, right? Britain.
John Barton, William
Ah,
John
Shockley,
Burdon,
and
William.
Walter
yes, William
Barton.
Shockley, John Brattain, and Bardeen,
Google.
right? And
Walter Barton.
these 3 people, they got Nobel Prize for the invention of this transistor. So when the transistor was not there, see now why we are using transistor for the amplification purpose, for rectification purpose. when transistor was not there, at that time that work, how we were able to achieve those amplification and rectification? If transistor was not there, then how people were using doing that thing? Suppose they want to amplify, then how they were doing? Or that thing was not possible before the invention of transistor? You got my point? My question is, we use the transistor for the amplification. Suppose mic, we are having mic, we say something in the microphone, then from the speaker, loud voice is coming. Here we are using transistor. But when transistor was not invented, before that type of things was possible or not? Yeah, any idea?
Possible by these parameters, I think, sir.
The parameter is for the calculation of the thing. So that was possible, but at that time, those things were done by vacuum tubes. Okay, in place of transistors, people were using vacuum tubes, right? So now those vacuum tubes were used for the amplification purpose and other things. Okay. Okay, you student, do one thing. You do one thing. My video lecture series is there on YouTube now. In that there is one playlist, 8086 microprocessor lecture series, right? 8086 microprocessor. There is one 8051 also, but I am saying 8086. In that lecture series, first lecture, you just go through first lecture. You will find out the vacuum tubes and other things. That lecture is with reference to the computers, with reference to microprocessor, but you will understand how the electronic industry developed, right? So you see that lecture, 8086 lecture series. In that lecture series, first lecture you just see, right? Okay, so when vacuum tubes were there at that time, for the calculation of things, jet parameter was used for the vacuum tubes, right? Okay, so we will continue after this in next class. But before that, before coming to the next class, you do one thing, you go through that lecture, right? 8086 lecture series, first lecture. Okay. Right, it is here.